And hello YouTube, this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'm today on a brand new video for Gaming with GS, and today we're going to take a look at Guild Wars 2 and some of the most recent leaks that have spread across several different sites, social media, and in-game, in map chat. There are several leaks about the next expansion that have been released. Now, from who these leaks are, I don't exactly know. Remember that these are only leaks. They do not mean this content will be coming in the game, nor am I implying that this content will be coming into the game. I'm simply reporting on the content, sharing it with you guys, and giving my opinions. Hopefully I'll hear your opinions in the comments section as well. Now before I continue, I just want to make this clear that if you do not like spoilers, if you don't want to risk the chance of possibly spoiling the next expansion, then you may as well stop watching the video. I do know some of you are not as involved in the community because you can't be, because you have a lot of things to do, and you kind of just rely on my channel and a few other Guild Wars 2 channels to keep you up to date with all the community stuff. So this is why I'm kind of making this video, for those people who want to stay up to date and want to know about the leaks. But if you don't want to know about it, you can very much so exit the video right now. Otherwise, we're gonna begin right now. Now, there's a possibility all of this will not even be released, but in my opinion, a lot of this does seem real. It looks real, and it could very well be released for the next expansion. Now, the same person who leaked this information also leaked the SPVP Coliseum map, as well as the legendary Macy Eureka, and those are in game now. So the chances of all of this that we're going to go over right now of being real and coming into the game seem relatively high. But like I said, I don't want to make any promises, and we don't know for sure. Now, a lot of this information we're going to talk about today must have been leaked from deep inside ArenaNet, because no data mining or any sort of speculation could possibly come up with this type of content that I'm going to discuss. So how this got leaked, I have no idea how, but we do have a pretty good idea of what the next expansion could possibly look like. We're going to start the video off with a screenshot. The rest of this video is probably going to be me in the background doing my dailies or running fractals, or who knows why. I haven't recorded the footage yet. But if you just want to listen to the video, look on screen right now for this one time, because there is a screenshot that was leaked, and check it out. Now, what is so cool about this screenshot? Well, most of it is blurred out. It looks like this is an area in the next expansion. But what's really important to look at is in the top right corner here, and you'll see that it says Explore Amun O, and it says enter the city of A. Now, the closest thing that relates to this is Amun Oasis. Now, this is an area in the Crystal Desert from Guild Wars 1, and we could possibly be going to that map, which means that the next expansion could very well focus around Elona or the Crystal Desert, or both even. This is what the screenshot is depicting. Now, that shaman also recently noted a map change near the Crystal Desert area. And if you take a look at this screenshot as well, you can see the before and after. A change was made near that coastline. Now, this could have been an accident from an artist, as they added the Fire Island chain maps into the game. However, this could also be that they're adding the new Crystal Desert maps into the game, and they decided to change something in the geography of the map so that it fits more to the way they create these maps. Take it with a grain of salt. But the fact that we do have a story step on the top right corner saying Explore Amun O, and it seems like it's a moon oasis, and that area is in the Crystal Desert, most likely we're going to the Crystal Desert next. But who knows? Maybe this is not even coming into the game. But it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting to see that we're finally going to the Crystal Desert, because this is a really interesting area. And Elona, everyone's always wanted to go there as well. So if we're able to go to both of those areas in the next expansion, that would be really amazing. And it would make a lot of people happy. So that's some information that we got on this screenshot that was leaked. Now, we also got some information on the Elite Specializations. Not a lot of information here, but we did get some information. Apparently, Warrior could be having an elite specialization called Spellbreaker. Maybe it will be Dagger. Mesmer could have an elite specialization named Mirage, or Mirage, with main hand axe. Guardian could have one called Purifier with main hand axe. Necromancer, Scourge with torch and sand shroud. Elementalist, either sword or greatsword. Ranger, probably dagger main hand. Thief, probably rifle. And there's no information on a Revenant or Engineer. Now, before we go any further, let me just say, if Elementalist gets greatsword or sword, that is going to be amazing. And a lot of people thought Elementalist was going to get sword with Tempest, because it was revolved around thunder and lightning, perhaps Tempest, you know, the storm and stuff, and maybe a sword will be fitting. And a lot of people were disappointed when Warhorn was the actual weapon. So perhaps Arena are saying, okay, everyone wanted a sword, well, let's go and put sword in for the next expansion. So it could be accurate, but who knows? Now, some people are mad about the fact that there are no new weapons. They wanted to have new weapons instead. And quite frankly speaking, I think the goal for these elite specializations is to make them be able to use every weapon in the game, which is pretty cool to me, because that means every skin will become relevant to your character, right? Every weapon will become relevant to your character, and you'll care a bit more about all the weapons rather than just say you're an elementalist. All you care about is staff and maybe dagger, and all the other weapons you just, you forget about, throw them all away, sell them always. You don't even bother with the skins. At least everything's becoming a little more relevant to your class now that you're able to have access to all the weapons. So the fact that they're going down this route to make more weapons available to different classes is something that I like. Obviously, having a new weapon would be awesome, would be really cool, but to be very honest with you, it's very unlikely that new weapons would be implemented, because it'd be too much work to integrate all of these weapons, the new ones they make, with all the other classes, and it would just be kind of crazy. Very similar to with how they wouldn't implement any races. Now, obviously, new elite specializations will have new mechanics, which are cool, but weapons could have been cool as well if there were new weapons. Some people really wanted new weapons, but it seems like they're most likely not going to do it, and I'm not expecting them to do it. This is something that I've always known. We've sort of always known they probably wouldn't make a new weapon. If they make a new weapon, it'd probably be like, a new form of using the weapon. Like, staff can now be used as, a weapon like a monk uses. So that was implemented. The Revenant could now use the staff melee form, right? Like the monks do. So if anything, they'd probably change how some weapons can be used, which is fine. But I don't think weapons are ever going to be... I don't think in any time soon new weapons are going to be added, unless it's like a core feature of an expansion. So take this information on the elite specializations as you will. One thing that is for sure though, and that we do know, is that the last thing ArenaNet worked on in the Heart of Thorns expansion was elite specializations. So it's very likely that elite specializations will once again be the last thing they're going to work on. They'll run it through the community, we're able to give our feedback, and they'll make changes accordingly to what we want to see and to what we like. So a lot of these things that I mentioned right now could possibly be completely changed in the far off future if this happens to be true, because a lot of the elite specializations were changed from beginning of development in Heart of Thorns to the actual release. Things changed a lot with the elite specializations, so we'll probably see a lot of change as well. Now, one question that I have in particularly is whether these elite specializations will be stronger than, say, the elite specializations that we already have now. Will a Tempest who can overload, or will a Guardian who can lay some pretty awesome traps everywhere, will the new elite specialization be better than that? Will the new elite specialization be better than that? I mean, right now, we know that the elite specializations we have right now in the game are pretty much upgrades to the base classes. Will these new elite specs be even more upgrades to the already elite specs that we have? I mean, if I take a look at my elementals right now, I love the overloading mechanic. Am I really going to want to give up overloading for, say the new elite spec, or lose some damage for the new elite spec? I mean, I'm hoping that they're able to expand on the original classes very well, and if they're able to expand on it and, allow for different play styles that are actually very rewarding and actually make sense, then I think they'll have some really good elite specializations. If they just become stronger than all the other ones, I mean, it's sort of going to make the other elite specializations in the base classes irrelevant, and That's kind of not how the system was supposed to be. So it's going to be very interesting to see how powerful these elite specs are. Maybe they're going to debuff, maybe they're going to nerf the Heart of Thorns elite specializations and buff the base classes so they become relevant again. I don't know exactly how they're going to work with this new elite spec, or how powerful, or how well it'll do in comparison to the ones we have now or to the base classes, but I'm very curious of what direction they're going with them. Now, we do also have some general information, some general leaks about the game as well that I want to go over. Apparently, the price tag for the new expansion is supposed to be around 20 bucks. The focus is going to be a bit more on content rather than new features, because they want to release quicker expansions but slightly smaller expansions. What was also leaked is that a new mastery revolved around mounts would be available. Now, this is really interesting to me, because apparently this mount mastery is supposed to help you with group traveling over dangerous terrain, or traveling through combat. Now, it's not going to be like the traditional mounts that you have. You pick them out like a tiger or a lion or a horse or a hippogriff, or it's not like the traditional mounts where you just pick something and then you ride on it. These mounts are going to be a bit more similar to gliding or bouncing mushrooms. Maybe they're going to be predefined. Maybe they're going to be focused around abilities a bit more, or maybe they're going to be maybe it's only going to be one mount that does all these things, or maybe it's going to be a few mounts that you can choose from, or maybe it's just going to be, like I said, one mount for across the entire board for everyone. And it's sort of going to serve like an ability, or sort of like the bundle abilities that we have in game right now. When you pick up a bundle, you get some special abilities. Maybe it'll be something like that. I'm not sure yet, but what is sure is that they did try to work something out with a raptor, some type of raptor mount. But essentially, there are 5 types of mounts that they want to sort of work around with. One mount is used for speeding up and jumping higher, so a speed and jump boost. Another one is a multi-person mount for traveling as a group. You're able to carry an entire party, maybe even. That would be really awesome, and that would be really cool. Because if I remember clearly, in EverQuest 2 and in World of Warcraft and in several other MMOs, you always had a mage who could have like this teleportation spell where it could teleport the entire party to an area, and that was really awesome and very useful. If this could be a mastery, that would be so cool. You could finally travel a lot more efficiently with an entire party. Say if a person didn't have an area discovered, or they didn't have a teleport to friend, this would be really useful. They also wanted to have a double jumping and double gliding type of ability / mount, a rocket jump type, and a hovering over water and slowly falling type. So those are the 5 types that may come into the game. Like I said, how they're going to implement these, if they're going to give us, an assortment of mounts to pick from, one mount to pick from, a predefined mount, maybe there'll be abilities like there are in the bundles. Who knows where they're going to go with that, but that's the information that was leaked, and I'm here to deliver it. Anyway, what else we have is story. Story-wise, we had a small amounts of information leaked. Apparently, Kraukatoric and Primordus will be the 2 dragons that are going to be fighting at the same time. Now, if this is true, that means Season 3 will not include fighting Primordus. In fact, it will be the new expansion where we fight Primordus, which would mean that my original statement in a recent video saying that, hey, Arena wants to show people that we can also fight dragons in Living World Seasons would basically not be true. But apparently the leak is saying Primordus and Kraukatoric will be fought at the same time in the Crystal Desert and in parts of Elona. Palawa Jako is also a villain apparently, and there's also several Vabi and Desolation maps that seem pretty cool as well. And apparently the rest of the Elona maps will be coming with Living World Season 4, which I'm guessing will be after expansion number 2. That's the information we got there story-wise. There's also going to be no Tengu. That was confirmed through the leak. It's not really confirmed because we don't know if it's actually true, but apparently no Tengu, no new race, and quite honestly, no surprise. I mean, we've always discussed that race implementation, a new race into the game would be so hard to implement because they would need a city, they would need a personal story, they would need to interact somehow with all the other races, they would need to integrate a lot of things with a new race, and it would just be really difficult. And if they were to do it, that would probably be a core feature of an expansion, and maybe this would be a race that maybe in a completely different region and has no interaction with the other races. Who knows? I don't know how they would even do it, but no Tengu, apparently. Also, a new Hall of Heroes type PvP map is also supposed to be coming, and the next raid wing is apparently supposed to be coming November earliest, which means apparently in about 3 weeks or so, the next raid wing is supposed to be here, maybe. And the last leak that we got was that the next fractal might be the Tower of Nightmares, which is really exciting if that is true. Tower of Nightmares was amazing to have, was amazing to see, and to have that as a fractal, as a permanent fractal, that would be really awesome. So those were the leaks that we got. Like I said, take them with a grain of salt. Get hyped about it if you believe they are true. Like I said, in my opinion, I think a lot of this could be true. I mean, we did get a screenshot leaked, and you know, it seems like this information came from somewhere, and it's not just being written and made up out of thin air. You know, this had to come from someone. So a lot of people have already seen this information. A lot of people are believing it. Some people aren't believing it. Let me know your opinions in the comments section. Let me know what you like about what you found out today, what you don't like. I mean, if ArenaNet really is planning all of this, and this is leaked information, and this really is an expansion too, at least now they can hear some feedback and they can perfect expansion 2. If this is the case, that a lot of this information is true, then the next expansion could be perfected, because a lot of people are already stating their opinions, so they can listen to us. They can see what we think and make changes accordingly, if they're able to do it, to perhaps satisfy more people and get more sales. So it's not a bad thing entirely that this information got leaked. Some people are sad about it because they don't like getting spoiled. But if you've been listening to this entire video right now, I mean, if you're one of those people, then I did warn you in the beginning. So I guess all of us listening right now and watching right now the video are just like me, who really don't care for spoilers. I mean, quite honestly, I can get a movie spoiled and I'll still go and see it. I can get a game spoiled and I'll still go and play through it. It doesn't really bother me too much. You know, it's whatever to me. So this is sort of like a double-edged sword. Some people don't like the leak. Some people like the leak, but at the same time, ArenaNet has something to work with. They have feedback now. There are tons of people posting about it on Reddit, giving their feedback, and they can look at it. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what will come in expansion number 2. We'll have to see how Living World Season 3 turns out to be. Maybe this is very accurate information. Maybe we won't even fight Primordius in Living World Season 3. Maybe we'll fight it with Kraukatoric in expansion pack number 2. But that's pretty much the video. That's all the information I wanted to give you guys. I just wanted to report the information for those of you who aren't as involved with the community, or aren't, you know, on a lot of the other websites that a lot of other community members are on, you know, talking and sharing information like Reddit or the Guild Wars 2 forums. I'm here to give you that information and to keep you up to date if you're not able to do it or you don't have time to do it. So hopefully you appreciate that, if anything. Leave your opinions in the comments section. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to be down there talking to you guys as usual and giving my opinions as well. And if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go and subscribe to the channel. Lots of other Guild Wars 2 content on our channel. We discuss recent patches. We give guides about current events. We have gold guides. We have discussions about the story. We have story recaps. Lots of cool stuff on our channel, Guild Wars 2 related. Lots of cool stuff on our channel, gaming related as well. If you're interested in that, go and subscribe. Would love to have you on board. And if you'd like to donate $1 to my Patreon page, anything as low as that is very helpful and very much appreciated. Click the card in the top right hand corner screen and it'll bring you to the page. And if you want to check out my vlogging channel, advice channel, music channel, or tutorials channel, check the links in the description as well as on the end card. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching as always, guys. And this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.